Drama is a high anxiety, negative type energy. Peace is a calming, joyful, a silent joy. I remember I dated a girl who was always caught in drama, and we had a moment, and she goes, "Wow, this is what peace feels like." Every time I'm in an environment, I always try to find an area that's in the cut and it's peaceful. You know, drama and those who chase it and those who choose to partake in it like their favorite dinner every night, there is a karma, a negative energy that will follow them. Now, I don't want to be a hypocrite because all of us do the wrong thing at times, including me. So we don't want to start to say, oh, it's karma, because all of us need grace. Okay. And anyone not humble enough to admit that, and anyone beating the drum that this person got what they asked for, you know, people do get what they ask for sometimes. So that's a real thing. And it's good to point that out. But if you keep pointing it out, now you're putting the karma on you because you're partaking in drama. You're talking about it. You're asking for it. You're basically partnering with the devil. Okay. The devil and God don't have much in common. Those who love peace can't love drama. Guys, I like to have fun. You see my channel. There's a way to have fun, okay, without this slanderous like way where it's always about someone else or something negative. I mean, there is negativity in the world. I talk about that too. And I'm not perfect. So I go back to the humility that we all need grace, including me. But I want to tell you on your journey in life, you have to be very careful about how much drama you partake in. It's like how much fried food you eat. You know, obviously, best to have none once in a while. You know, like I said, one thing I learned from being obese and then anorexic almost is that, you know, you got to have a little bit of balance, right? So, you know, you have a little fun in life. You know, you don't want to be always serious. You don't want to be, but when in doubt, you want to lean towards peace. If you lean into drama, you're asking for trouble. There's some people that go looking for trouble. See, like when someone parks close to me, I start my car and walk away. I don't start recording and cause trouble. When someone is being an asshole, I don't lock heads with them. I see how to avoid them. I love peace, peace over drama. I'm saying this so you can discern people by what they partake in. Jesus said you can tell people by the fruit of their actions, okay, what they do on a regular basis, their repetitive behavior. We all need grace. We all need grace. So none of us are above that. So I'm not saying everyone needs to say like they had a bad day or this is, you know, they're not that good doing this, including me, right? But I want to tell you, some people have a recurring pattern. When do you need to make executive decisions? When a person has a recurring pattern, it's in their nature. It's in their nature. Some people, guys, it's just all negative, man. I don't know why. Don't try to figure it out. You know, why does a hawk swoop down and kill, and why does a dove act gentle? Nature. Okay, it's their nature. Never date a girl that loves drama. Never date a guy who is a drama king too. And he may be gay. I've had some, and I stand for equal rights for my gay and transgender people. But some of the negative people I've had on YouTube have been gay or been in love with me, a female. You know, like I say, it's very, you know, when someone's really attracted to you or when someone's really obsessed with you, the moment, okay, that they feel any type of hurt feelings, guys, there's such a repercussion. That's why you have to be very careful about being around the obsessed because they're mentally and emotionally unstable. And it doesn't have to be of any gender, of any sexual orientation, even if it's just friendship. I mean, Like I said, and this is where you go to when you start to talk about just dealing with people that have mental problems. And we all have mental problems. So again, we always have to caution ourselves, right? Like, we don't want to start to say, judge other people, but we have to observe, okay? We have to learn here. When you're dealing with people that have recurring mental problems, and some of them, they have certification. They have a service dog certified. They got mental or emotional problems. They got high anxiety. They're taking prescription pills because they got certified emotional and mental problems. They got a handicap sticker because they got certified emotional and mental problems. These certifications show you there's a recurring pattern of not being able to function at a certain level. You damn sure shouldn't take their advice on if you should sell a house, if you should move. They'll cut your throat. There's a lot of people that start to take advice from their abusive daughter. And then there's a lot of things in life, guys, that people use. See, one thing, you don't want to lock heads with anyone, personal, family, friends, because it's a tit for tat. Tit for tat is people who love drama over peace. You got to overlook things. In life, you don't get the promotion and keep the promotion if you're not willing to overlook some things. If you're a tit for tat person, you'll work at the bottom of the barrel your entire life. You're still complaining. Guys, people who can't see the big picture will always get the small paycheck. Twister, I love you. I wanted to say that because I didn't feel like I gave you enough energy yesterday. I love you, Twister. I want to repeat that. People who can't see the big picture get the small paycheck. Because how can you have someone in charge when they're a tit-for-tat person? You'll never get anything done. Pay Nolan, $4.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. Most people are constantly sad. I think because deep down, everyone is afraid that death is permanent. No, I think that's the house that you live in and the lack of self-care. Because I live in this world, I take care of myself, and most people are not sad. I mean, most people have problems. But like I said, when you stay in your house and you live in dysfunction, you will look at the world differently than what it is. Okay. And I understand that. I don't say that in judgment. Okay. The issue that you're only seeing one reflection. You're seeing your father, your father-in-law. You're seeing yourself being unhappy. So you're feeling the sadness. And many people are feeling the sadness because many people choose to, and even people who work, even people who function in society, people choose to live with someone they're trying to save because they're afraid to walk alone a portion of their life, and they're afraid to do something different and take a calculated risk. You got to take calculated risk, and you got to do certain things alone. If you're unwilling to do that, you're going to be sadder than you need to be, more depressed than you need to be, more drama than you need to be, less peace. So, my favorite part, when I was in Catholic church, my favorite part of the church mass was when they say, peace be with you. And then you say to the other person, peace also with you. Peace. When someone's down, don't kick them. When someone's annoying you, don't fight them. Try to avoid both. Anyone who kicks someone when they're down. I got in a fight one time. When I was young, I was in high school, I fought this kid. And we ended up being cool, but there was some issues, so we fought. And I got him on the ground. Okay. And when he was on the ground, I had a decision. I could have stomped him out. I chose not to. Why? Well, two reasons. One is I really didn't want to hurt him if I didn't have to. And the other thing, I saw the big picture. Well, if I hurt him seriously, then I got to deal with more repercussions because there's more things that are going to happen after that, okay, that it never stops. But see, most people, guys, they don't see past they only see and I want to tell you, thank God I held myself back. And then again, like I said, we ended up being cool. It would have been a whole nother set of drama if that would have went a little bit further. Some people go looking for trouble, guys. They're going to find it. Because it's not hard to find trouble in this world. Because a little bit to pay to Nolan's point, most people are not focused on self-care. It's too repetitive. They want drama. Drama's something new every day. Most people are not financially well. Why? Most days you don't buy anything. You don't buy any car. You don't buy any home base. You don't buy anything. It's boring. It's peaceful, though. How many people got a new car? Now they got more anxiety. How many people got a new house? Now they got more problems. How many people you know in the past year, in times of inflation, got more peace? I don't think so. All right, that's the message tonight. In about 10 minutes, I banged it out. Thank you for all my members. Thank you to everyone who watches. Thank you, Paige and Nolan. I hope my videos help you. If they help you, click the thumbs up. You want to support the channel, click the blue join button. Share the video, leave a comment below. I try to show up every day. And I try to give you something of value, not a gossip session, not a bashing session. And I have boundaries. Okay. And I see the bullshit, and I know karma will collect, but I also want to say grace. I remember another time, I worked with a guy. I'm not saying he was always wrong, though. Some things he was right, and I agreed with him. But I was telling him, look, let's address the problem, but let's also show grace. It's good to address a bully. But if you get the bully on the ground, don't stomp him out. What are you trying to accomplish? Do you want drama or do you want peace? You'll find whatever you pursue. You'll find whatever you pursue. All right, let's go to all live comments. I got to take this hoodie off because even though it's a little bit cool tonight in South Florida, I'm heating up Jeep Renegade with the intensity, but very calm and subtle. All my beautiful women out there, I'd like to give you a back rub right now. Run some bubble bath, play some Sade, get you your favorite chocolates, leave you alone, let you eat alone, let you watch your movies alone, let you do everything alone except when you don't want to be alone. You say, what's the number one advice I would give a guy who wants to date? Leave her alone until she don't want to be alone. What's the number one advice I would give a woman to a man? Look, guys, girls, most of you are watching me because you've already been in relationships. And you know most of it's drama. And it is true, guys, since the biblical times of Moses and Christ, there's a reason, even in the Bible, they say, stay single. It's more peace. But it could be boring. And you want excitement. You want to go on a cruise? You want to do a renovation? You want to have a great wedding? Want to have a great baby shower? I talked to someone. I want to tell you, your mother doesn't want to throw a baby shower. I talked to someone this week, and the mother was stressed out. She said, Sam, I'm throwing a baby shower for my daughter. And she didn't really know me that much, but I'm sure. I'm not saying who this is. And I thought about everything I've seen in life. And she goes, I'm tired. I raised kids already. Now I got to start again. It's like, when do your children start to have their own life? And I even saw this when I went back to stay with my mom for the longest period of time I've ever been with my mom since I moved out in my early 20s. And it's not healthy. If your mother needs somewhere to live, if there's an emergency, there was a pandemic, so it was understandable. But I think that's what taught us, because everyone needs their space. And once you get guys into your 20s, look, your parents don't want to raise you anymore. They need their own space. They still love you to death. It's fact, though. It's peace. You're not going to have peace living with your parents after a certain age. It's not going to happen. And you're not going to have peace living with someone, that you really don't like, but you're scared to get a divorce, so you need to split the bills. That's why you got to do what you got to do as best you can within your ability. You want to live in a shared apartment, and the person you live with in a shared apartment has a gossip channel about drama. But I don't want to kick people when they're down, guys. I understand people doing the best they can. So I hold back on a lot of things I say. But I want to tell you this, guys, drama comes to collect. And if that's what you base your life on, we all need grace, guys. None of us are escaping the Grim Reaper. Okay. So, but how do you want to live is the question. Not if we're going to die. We're all going to die. We're all going to get in trouble. Okay. But people who go looking for trouble are going to get in more trouble. People who live a reckless life are increasing the risks of more problems. Don't try to save people, try to save yourself. All right. Oh, yeah, guys and girls. Let's go to these live comments. Take your time. Don't rush. Why? If you have to rush, you're going to trip and fall on your ass. The reason you live below your means, the reason you have boundaries, is because you avoid the need to rush unnecessary. You take your time. Life comes at your pace. Those who are rushing, guys, have built no discipline. They're going to obsess over a house. They're going to obsess over a relationship. They're going to obsess over everything. Stacy! Damn it, Stacy, I'm sorry. I'm late on it. Stacy, oh my gosh. I have 6 kids. And after all the B-Day parties, I don't want to throw baby showers. Well, Stacy, love to you. Thank you again for that gracious tip. I want to tell you, it's never going to stop. Your kids are still going to be busting your chops when you're in your 70s and 80s. And they're going to have grandkid problems and this problems. But Stacy, here's the good news. Is that you are the executive of certain decisions you need to make right now. And this is what you need to remember as you have to make some executive decisions. I want to give you some value. Is that you need to pursue what brings peace and health. Because your kids and those who are trying to encourage you to do certain things, they're not the executor. Okay? You're the executor. Okay? And if you don't steer the ship towards peace, you're having people steer the ship. Don't let someone else hold your paintbrush. Don't let someone else hold the executive position. And that may sound harsh, but if you're going to have 6 kids, if you're going to go through the hardships of being an adult, why would you then give up all your authority as an adult? So Stacy, love to you. Aaron, love to you. And I appreciate you, Stacy. You're smart. You're not a dummy. You know, sometimes I tell my mom, or sometimes I tell, people who do have some issues. I say, look, you're not a dummy. You know how to do Vimeo. Okay. Rain Man was not a dummy, guys. Tom Cruise keeps saying, Kmart sucks, Kmart sucks. And, Tom Cruise, like, you fucking with me? Or the guy was a genius at certain things. So don't let people play you for a dummy. And don't dumb yourself down to other people to play to them. It's okay to separate from people. It's okay to have people not like you. As long as you're not baiting people to not like you. And it goes back to the drama. I mean, there's some people, guys, they're like begging for someone to hate them for attention. They're begging for someone to say their name, begging for a video about them, begging for someone to address them, guys. These people, they're attention beggars. Thank you again, Stacy, and thank you, Peyton Nolan. All right, all off comments. Andre, hey Sam, looking cold in Florida. It's a little cold front coming through, even though I would say it was in the mid 70s today. So we're going to dip down for a couple days in the 60s and low 70s in South Florida. And then in a week or so, just like we have been for the past couple days, we'll be in the 80s. So it's very good. Tony, yep, looking cold, just a little cool front. Very comfortable though. Great camping weather. Very low bugs. Florida in the winter for the win. ESP, happy Saturday. Thank you, ESP, for being a pursuer of peace. Love to you. Florida Living, how was your day, Sam? It was actually a great day. Productive day, self-care, and enjoyment of the weekend, but still did what I need to do. How was your day? Pat Go, good to see you, Pat Go. Peace for the win. Pat Go, it's a pursuit and it's a boundary. Love to you, Pat Go. Thank you for everything. The beautiful Valen, how are you, Valen? Good to see you. Shout out to Texas. Pat Go, abundance in the house. Well, I like positive vibes. I appreciate, Pat Go, that you have been a positive person. I have love for you. Valen, their nature. Yep, there's a scorpion and there's a turtle, and both have a different nature. No matter how many counseling sessions they go to, the scorpion has it in their nature to sting you and kill you. And the turtle has it in their nature to retreat into their shell as soon as they see any drama. This is just the way it is. Charles, I appreciate you being a member. I appreciate the fact that you went wind kite sailing. I appreciate your live videos. I can't wait to see you when you go live and you do a video game of WWE. I saw your nephew or whatever doing it, and that was the first time I saw the graphics on a new wrestling game, the WWE 22 cast. Like, damn, that's a nice looking game, man. Treasure, hey Sam, been watching your channel for 6 months. Thank you. Happy to finally catch you live. It's great to have you, Treasure. Thank you for the positive comment. Thank you for watching. Twister, what's up, Sam? What's up, Twister? Twister, again, thank you. I felt like I watched the replay last night. I said, man, did I don't feel like I focused enough on your comments, and I want you to know that you're appreciated and I love you. Valen, this guy's obsessed with me from Chile. Well, that's the problem. You're very good looking, and dudes want to get with you. I had to let him go because it was too much drama. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it takes two to tango. So if you let him go, it's understandable. But like I know, it's very tough. All I can say, when you're faced with someone who likes you more than you like them, remember that when someone doesn't like you as much as you like them. Because even the most beautiful people, there's people that don't like you. And you tend to get offended, but you have to remember all the people that liked you more, but you didn't like them. And that'll keep you honest. Florida Living. Here you go. Pat, Peyton Nolan, thank you again, brother. I truly appreciate that you have a fighting spirit. I truly appreciate that. I believe you love peace. And I know that you're trying to figure out your best life. And I believe you're smart enough to do it. Love to you. Sean Paul, the psychopaths are everywhere. They are. But like I say, guys, there's also a lot of, I would say there's more good people than bad people in the world. And if you don't believe me, guys, then why aren't we in total chaos 24/7? We're not. There's people right now, guys, working in the supermarkets. There's people driving. There's people working in a hospital. Gas stations are open. Society's functioning. So the psychopaths may be online. They may be out in society, but there's still fewer psychopaths than great people. But great people tend not to let their light shine, tend not to work on themselves. So the psychopaths can go back to hell. That's their ultimate faith anyway. Florida Living. How is your mother doing? Overall, good. Thank God. Still has her independence. Thank you for asking. Sophie, hello. Pago, I like karma on top of my ice cream. Well, Pago, we love you. Valen, payday. Well, Valen, anytime you get a paycheck, it's a blessing from the Lord. That's awesome. Twister, no worries, Sam. The feeling is mutual. That's great. I just wanted to make sure I said it because it's good that you want to make sure that you show appreciation to people, especially who truly appreciate you. And, I've had to learn this as I've gotten older. Sean Paul, I love the freedom of living in my car and being independent. Look, being a nomad is a great feeling. Obviously, you want to make sure you utilize the time living on the road to save money and to ensure your financial freedom, because there'll come a time where you either can't or you don't want to live on the road. And if you don't discipline yourself and work to get ahead while you're in your car, then you're going to be at the bottom of the barrel. So you just got to make sure that you utilize the time wisely. But I would definitely say, yeah, the nomad life is that of somewhat unmatched freedom. Tony, avoiding some specific drama at work. Great job. Don't let them mess up your money. And keeping my mouth shut is something I am really going to have to practice. You are practicing it just by saying this. The next few months, hope I can do it. You can do it. Why? Because last time I checked, and ever since you've been part of this channel, you've kept showing up, and that's been years. So remember that. And when in doubt, go for a walk, go to the bathroom, break, document. And if there's an argument at work, just walk away, walk away, walk away. Good job. Peyton Nolan Facts. I truly love you, Peyton Nolan. I appreciate you. Pat Go, my lips are sealed at work. That's smart. Erin, also beautiful, compassionate woman. And Erin, how is your house sale going? I've been thinking about you. Selling a house is very dramatic. It is. There's no way around it. But after you finish selling your house, there's such peace. I will tell you guys, I've bought one house and I sold one house. And I'm thankful I bought a house. It was a blessing to get me out of my mother's house, and it was good. I enjoyed it. I had a good time overall. It's a lot of responsibility, though, to own a house. And I will say I was more nervous the day I bought my house, and I had more peace the day I sold my house. So I hope you're doing well, Aaron, with that. Let me know. Pat Go, my lips are paid to be sealed at work. Well, Pat, there's nothing wrong with that. A quiet spirit can overcome a great mistake. That's what the scriptures say. Pat Go, hey, Aaron. ESP, hey, Pat Go. ESP, hey, Aaron. Pat Go, hey, ESP. Aaron, hey, Pat Go, and ESP. Pillows, hey, Pillows. Good evening from London. Shout out to overseas. Peace, speak tomorrow about people taking advice from their abusive daughter. Yeah, look, I mean, sons and daughters can be bad. Okay. Parents can be bad. And if you're taking abuse from your daughter, it takes two to tango. You're an enabler. Because abuse doesn't just walk into your house. You have to permit it. So I don't get involved in other people's stuff, including my own mother's. Why? Because, guys, it's, as an adult living on my own, it's not my drama. Okay. And like I say, look, daughters, growing up in a house of all women, I can tell you that women bicker and fight and talk nastier sometimes than men. Okay. But at the same time, if the world had just men and no women, the world would be too bitter and too much testosterone. So you need both. But specifically what I've seen with mothers and daughters, not just in my family, but in all the walks of my life, dating people, etc., is that there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of bickering, but don't get in between them. Why? Because they're always going to be mother and daughter, and they'll turn on you and talk about you, even if you're doing the right thing. So what would I say to mothers and daughters who argue? I'd smile, shut the fuck up, and let them have their own drama. That's it. Pat Go. ESP, are you giving a grizzly bear a pedicure? Sean Paul. Watch out for those psychopaths. Well, they better watch out for me, because I'll call 911 and we're all going to die. So I do everything the right way, and I'm not going to live my life in fear, but I'm not going to go looking for trouble. ESP. No, I chose life. Amen. Sophie. Yes, I agree. One finds what one wants to find, good or bad. Stacy, thank you again. I apologize for being late. But all I could tell you is you are the executor of the decisions that you have upcoming to you. And take hold of that authority. Use wisdom. Be fair. Be fair. Be fair. But use wisdom and do what you need to do. I want to tell you this, very important. Anyone who's mad at you for doing what is just and fair, it doesn't matter, because they're evil. If you are doing what is just and fair, and nothing's 100% perfect, then you're doing the right thing. And that's it, period. Jag, what's up, brother? I want to read your comment because I know you always super chat. And so he goes, hey, brother, not being negative, but in the past, I've posted less is more than you responded. Not true. More is more Starbucks. In recent videos, you've been preaching less is more, so much more. Peace, brother. Yeah, look, all I can tell you is, guys, I've been preaching it and living it. But I've also lived where I've purchased more. So I'm not going to begrudge someone for experiencing life. I'm sharing my life more than most people do. And all I can tell you is, as you get older, you want to be very intentional about what you buy, and that what's a long-term commitment. Buying food or buying Starbucks, if you can't budget for that, you have an income problem. If you don't want to buy Starbucks or food every day and you want to just have a home, there's nothing wrong with that either. But everyone spends their money different. Some people have kids, some people have RVs, some people have furniture, some people have 3 side pieces, some people have 2 cars. Guys, some people don't work. So everyone should budget based on the lifestyle they want to live. But for me, I want to be financially free. I want to be able to get off the road if I want to. But I didn't want to buy an RV initially. Why? Because it could be basically a huge asset allocation that's not wise. But at the same time, if you got the money to do it, the nomadic lifestyle is unmatched as far as a certain amount of adventure and freedom. However, there's also something to be said for the stability. I'm paying for campgrounds the past couple months and I've loved it. It's added a quality of life. So, you know the message. Experience life, especially when you're younger. But be very careful that as you get older, to take hold of your financial future by consuming less, making more money, and with that surplus of money, position yourself as best you can to at least be able to retire with dignity, or retire early, or at the very, very best, live a life that is not lazy, but that is that you're so much in love with, that you have a passion about, it overcomes the bad days. That's the best I could tell you. If I miss a comment, please type it again. Aaron, 6 kids, I can't imagine. You're brave. Twista, Sam, your timing couldn't be more perfect. I had a huge fight with my mom last night and continued it this morning. It was really bad. It started with me and my brother. It ended up spilling over some water. Yeah, and this was the problem with the 2 dogs and with everything else. I mean, again, I'm very grateful you found your dog. And now I probably wouldn't give it back to the person you gave it to, but that's why I really thought about when you lost your dog that you gave up, was that the right counsel? And I said, yeah, it was, even before you found your dog again, because you can't get away from the core problem in your house, okay, which is the children are young adults now. The parents are in an unhealthy relationship, your mother and your father's a certain way, and you got a disabled brother who's never, going to change. You got a certain certification of being disabled, and you're trying to build your career and figure out your life, but you need to depend so much on your parents because you got 2 dogs. And there's no way at that young age of 20, while you're in college and you're working and you're trying to take care of yourself, there's no way you could do that plus take care of 2 dogs. And so now you're sucked in to needing them, and it's just a cycle. But again, which do you do? It's a very tough situation now. But like I say, when my mom gave away a dog one time when we had 3, she found some farm in Pennsylvania. I would not give the dog, well, I don't know. And like I said, when I had a second dog, it really wasn't my dog, but when there was a second dog in my house, I mean, I was fortunate where I had a good friend who I really knew, and he took great care of the dog. So all I can tell you is when you're trying to do the right thing, I want to have hope and faith and belief, and through some of my life experience, I can say it's true, that the right door will be open to you to give you help. And that's what I would tell you. Stacy, thank you, Aaron. Charles, Sam, does it ever seem like people don't put much thought into thinking ahead? All the time, and I've been there too, so I don't want to be a hypocrite. As I've gotten, I've always been aware, I've always had an old soul, some level of wisdom. But as you get older, you want to put effort into trying to learn from your mistakes. Some people don't, but again, I always, when I get too focused on other people, I say, Sam, what do I need to do for me? And that kind of just keeps me away from drama and keeps me going towards peace. Twista. Then my mom slipped on it and fell because she was storming out of the room because I made her mad. She started crying and I felt really effed up. It's been a long day. My mom keeps telling me to stop trying to save her. I agree with that. and my brother just focused on myself. I agree with that. But it is hard. I understand that. Sometimes because I know my disabled brother is my responsibility too. No, he's not. You didn't have that child. Your mother did. Your mother had unprotected sex and had 2 children and however many dogs. You didn't have that child. You're not responsible for your brother. You're not responsible for your mother. You're a young man now. You're responsible for you. And if you can't take care of you, you're not responsible for those 2 dogs. You got to work on you. As hard as that is, it's very hard. And I'm not saying you should abandon everyone, but I totally get what you're going. And again, when I was in my early 20s, I was trying to figure out life to a higher degree. I still needed help. And that was one of the reasons I got more involved in the church, because I knew I couldn't get to my next level of growth hanging out with friends, going to the club after a certain age. I knew I couldn't get this help from my family or inner circle because they love me, but I'm trying to go to another level where I'm maturing, and your family can't really help you with that. That's something you got to go on your own journey. And a lot of people don't. And that's why families fight, because they don't go on their own journey and it never ends. And I realized that, and I had to wake myself up. And again, even when I went back to see my mom, I love my mom. I thank God for my mom. I thank God for everyone in my family. But I saw it during the pandemic, not just with me, but with every family. You're not meant to spend that much time around your family. Not as an adult, not unless, if you're seriously disabled, fine. But if you're not, no, it's not healthy. I don't care what anyone tries to tell you. It's just not healthy. Back to live comments. Aaron, why are you living with your mom at Twister? Do you have a car? Maybe it's time to head out for independence. Twister, no matter all the fighting and arguing, I've come to the same conclusion as always. Have to stay positive with things I cannot control. Focus on what I can control and take it one day at a time. I agree with that. Twister, I'm waiting to graduate university in May, Aaron. Aaron, oh, that makes sense. May is close. Aaron, 3 months. You can do it. Love to, Aaron. Thank you for the encouragement. Twister, thank you, Aaron. I'm trying the best to be patient. It's hard. I'm getting there day by day. There you go. Aaron, you are close. It will be worth it if you finish your degree. My son had his struggle and was glad he finished out the same month he graduated. Happier now. Treasure, it's really ironic that this is my first live. I'm from New Jersey and came to Miami today to escape the 20 degrees. For the first day, my flight back home has been delayed. Well, best of luck to you in your travels. And I'm glad that you got to at least experience Florida. And if it's something you like, visit several times. Try to get a job transfer or secure a job before you come. And visit, when I first came to Florida the first few times, I did the regular thing too, South Beach, and it was fun. But in your 20s, that's life, right? But as you get older, you want to go outside of South Beach. You want to visit some areas, and because Florida's just like any other place, has good and bad. And but it's definitely still magical. My opinion, the warmest state in America in the winter. And it's Caribbean, tropical, all those things. Aaron, house is sold. Congratulations. That's a big step forward, and I've been praying for you every day. Van is hard in this weather, but I'm adjusting. Well, I think about that with you also. I think about that even what you said, you had mice in your house and then you had the van. Look, living in a car or van, I'm not saying you can't get mice, but you don't have to worry really about a roof. You don't have to worry about a mouse infestation. The best part about living in a vehicle, guys, it's like you don't have to worry about things crawling through the walls for the most part. And there's a lot to be said for that. And there's part of me that still says, stay in a car, get a Class B. And that's always the possibility with me. So, again, when you sell your house, you're going to have tremendous peace. And I tell anyone, in my opinion, if you can, there's some people, obviously, they got families, young families, they can't. But if you can, I wouldn't buy anything for at least a year. Why? Enjoy that peace. Enjoy that lack of responsibility. Figure out where you want to live, then figure out below your means, and then flirt with a couple properties and walk away just to prove to yourself that this damn house don't make me. That's what I would tell you. Good job. You'll figure it out, Aaron. Get a sleeping bag, a negative or 20 degree or lower sleeping bag for Walmart. Spend $100. You don't have a house now. Spend some extra money buying a thermal sleeping bag and cuddle up like a cozy koala bear. That's what I would tell you. Jack, yeah, I read those both again, but Jack, I want to thank you for everything. You, your wife, all your positive comments. Less is more, peace is everything. God bless you. Stacy, thank you, Sam. Stacy, thank you. You've been tremendously positive. You have your own problems. I know that. But I appreciate your positive attitude. I know it's not easy with that many kids, but even if you had 2 kids, not easy. So love and respect to you and all the parents out there. Twisted, thank you, Aaron. Hey, Joanna, shout out to New Jersey also. Just got home from work. I'm glad I didn't miss you. Well, I'm glad to have you. And I appreciate that. Keep showing up. God bless you. Sonny, aka Luke. Hey, man, what's up, brother? What's up? Great to have you tonight. Sonny, trying to live my best life, keeping my mindset positive and optimistic. Yep. Look, you don't want to associate with too much drama. Why? It's toxic. And you put yourself in that environment, you can't. It's like watching a horror movie. Even though you didn't direct the movie, even though you didn't act in it, even though you know it's entertainment. Not too many people feel good after you watch a horror movie. Remember that. Hey, Sonia, thank you again for everything. I always tell my son and my daughter-in-law the reason we still talk is because we don't live together. Sonia, you understand life. Good job. Oh, Sonia just joined. Everyone, welcome Sonia. She was inspired to support. I appreciate you, Sonia. I appreciate all my members. Gratitude in my heart, but not entitlement in my spirit. So thank you, Sonia, for that sign of support, love, and I appreciate your comment, which I agree with, which I had to come to learn. And I'm thankful my mom and my father helped me. Now again, as you get older, some parents will throw that in your face, but all I can tell you is there's nothing wrong with needing help, but you want to take that help and then you want to work and you want to build your own life and you want to visit your parents. You want to visit your loved ones. You don't want to live with them. And Sonia, thank you for everything. You brought up an excellent point. Matthew, had to move states from, he goes, good to see you again, Matthew. He goes, had to move states from where I grew up to be more independent from family and to be challenged more. New environment is a great help. Yeah, sometimes you do need that reset. You just obviously, when you're moving to a new state, you want to have somewhat of a game plan financially. You want to do some research, and then you need some faith. Yep. Sonny, aka Luke. If I lived in a car, I think it would be lean towards a Prius because it's stealth. Climate control is the winner for me. Well, remember, one is, guys, it's true that a regular car is more stealth than a van or RV. But when humans are creatures of habit. When you're parking in a Planet Fitness parking lot or a truck stop and you go to the same spots every night or every other night and you have window covers and you have a sun visor, guys, it's not like you're invisible. And with regards to the climate control, it's true, but that means your car is going to start every 20 minutes or so to kick on the engine, because your car on a hot night is going to only have battery charging capabilities for 20 minutes or so without starting the engine to recharge the battery. So, and that's certainly not stealth, that your car is just automatically starting every 20 minutes in the parking lot that you've been in every other night for the past 5 months. So again, a car is more stealth. Again, climate control does help, and I have made videos that's valuable. But I want to tell you, your biggest independence is not a hybrid car. Your biggest independence is managing your money and having a pile of money. If you buy a new car to live out of, you're basically spending a year's worth of rent or more to live in a parking lot. Okay. Every time you spend over $5,000, guys, you're spending what, 5 months worth of rent at least, So, guys, I mean, I saw one homeless guy. This guy's a nice guy, but he would save up money. He didn't have much money. Then he bought a piece of shit RV that was falling apart, and he had dumped money in that. Then he bought a piece of shit house. He had dumped money in that. He could have lived for the past 2 years in an above average apartment with his children, no liabilities, furnished. But it's tough when you're not processing things. But everyone has a right to live how they want. Uh, Back to live comments. So, Sonny, it shows you're a good car owner and treat it well. Uh, did you not say your car had over 200,000 miles? Yes. My car has 213,000 miles currently. This Jeep Renegade, which is now 6 years old, has been very good to me. I've been very fortunate. I do keep up with the recurring maintenance. I've had a couple little minor issues, but overall, even my mom tells me I've been very fortunate with this car. I've got my money out of it because I think I paid like 27,000 before tax 6 years ago. So yeah, I'm 6 years old, 213,000 miles. I've traveled from the mountains of Vermont to the beaches of South Beach, and it's been a blessing. Sonia, welcome and thank you again. Twista, I missed the super chat. Twista, thank you, Sam, for the wisdom and friendship. Well, Twista, reciprocal gratitude and the words that I speak and other people speak to you. We know where you're at. We've all been in our early 20s. None of us had it all figured out in our 20s. So it's understandable that you're still figuring out life. But it's key that you work on figuring it out, putting yourself around a support group outside of your family so you can start to develop relationships outside of your family and you can start to network and build a network outside of your family. Good job. Back to live comments. Aaron, focusing on making a new routine for now. Spring will be here soon. Huge relief to be done with house. Yes, I actually sold my house just about the same time you did in the middle of the winter 5-6 years ago. So it takes a while to adjust to full-time van life or car life. It'll take about 6 to 8 months. And once the spring comes, April, May, that's spring and fall are the best weathers to live in your car because it's very mild. So you have a lot going for you. You've raised 2 children. You have a career. You have low liability now. It's okay to spend some, but keep 10 to 25,000 in a savings account. Never touch it. Keep your debt low. See what happens with your college loan debts or whatever's going to happen there. Keep your income. And just settle into a new routine. After 6 to 8 months, then I want you to work on a creative passion of yours. I know you do some freelancing. I want you to put more energy into your freelancing and still keep your main job because that's the whole season that you're in. But right now, just settle in, focus on your main job, and enjoy 6 to 8 months of just low liability, energy, and a self-care and a new routine. Sonia, thank you for everything as well. We all need our own space. I learned that lesson, and I failed. In my 20s, I failed at times with my mom, with my girlfriends I had. But when I was a child, I spoke like a child, raised as a child. I got reminded during the pandemic, and I think we all did. Okay, I think, so Justin, man, what's up, brother? Justin 199 Super Chat. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Palm Beach County. Shout out to your family. Shout out to all the positive things you're doing with your life. You changing your life. And if you have a bad day, Justin or anyone, if you have a bad day, you get through it. You regroup tomorrow. You regroup the moment after. And to all my parents, when in doubt, don't be angry. When in doubt, don't holler at your kids. When in doubt, love covers a multitude of sin. When in doubt, your mannerisms and the way you carry yourself are a bigger lesson to your children than hollering or teaching them things. So at the end of the day, you can do everything right as a parent, and your daughter can still end up a stripper and dating an alcoholic. You can do everything right, and your son still end up a raging lunatic screaming at people. But you can also lead by example and plant seeds to help your children at their lowest point, because they will pull back on how you handled yourself. Not how you handled them, how you handled yourself. That's what people look at above all else. And none of us are perfect. We all need grace. Okay? So don't beat yourself up. And I love you, Justin Savant. I see you, man. I appreciate you also, man. Shout out to you. And let's go back to these live comments. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate you, man. I believe I left off at Sunny, aka Luke. I feel my family relationship improved so much when I quit putting expectations on them and I realized me are all different. And even though they're my family, does not mean they're my tribe. Look, you know, if people cannot respect that you need to develop yourself, then yeah, you don't, even if they're your family, you don't need to be around them. I thank God, my mom, she did. She was Sam, I understand you. That's your life. You have to live it. And my father was a little bit more controlling. Like he would still have to be kept in a loop with everything. So, and that's why I eventually cut my father off, even though he helped me tremendously at certain things. But if you're helping me only because then I have to like baby to you for the rest of my life, ain't gonna work. And I don't feel bad for taking help. Why? Because I guess, look, one is I didn't ask to be born. That's number one. Number two is I'm doing the work. I'm not just sitting here as a grown child saying I didn't ask to be born and blaming my parents. I've always tried to do what I need to do to improve. And so if I'm doing what I need to do to improve and you see it, you see the evidence, don't bust my balls. So, that's and like I told Stacy, take the authority as the executor of the will. And what I tell all my adults that are handling their business, none of us are perfect. But if someone's trying to guilt trip you, if someone's trying to bring up shit on you, hey, take the authority and don't argue with them. Just cut them off. Cut them off. Because you're never going to win with them. These people, they have drama in their own relationships with the people they sleep with or sleep in separate rooms. And then if they treat the people they live with, they claim they love, with that level of toxicity, with drama, how do you think they're going to treat you? And that's your answer. Savat, good evening, Sam. Savat, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for everything, man. Long-time viewer. Appreciate your support as a member. Shout out to Jacksonville. Shout out to all my truck drivers. Justin, I love you, brother. Thank you. Sue, what do you do for fun for your free time? I walk. I fully submerge in the beach. I listen to music. I'll watch some YouTube videos for entertainment. And I'll work out. I still consider that I like to sweat. And that's a full day. That's hours for me. Going for walks by the beach or in a nice park, going in the ocean, and then you got to clean off. You got to do all those things. Watching some videos and working out. Those are my hobbies at this point. And they're productive and they're good for me. So that's what I would say I like to do for fun. Yeah. Savat, health is the most important to take care of all that. As you get older, it's more important. When I was in my 20s, I could eat a bucket of fried chicken, play full court basketball for 2 hours and still be in somewhat great shape, but I had a wide ass always. But now, guys, as you get older, your metabolism could slow. And as you get older, your knees get weaker. But as you get older, your self-care game should get higher because you don't have to be some hobbling, totally out of shape, totally destitute person, especially in your 40s, 50s. I mean, even in your 60s and 70s, you should be taking care of yourself. 80s, 90s, you do the best you can. Good job. Hey, Antoinette. Hey, Sam, hello to you. Sonny, I agree. Thank you, Luke. Sonia, what do you think of Bonetta Springs? Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never been there. I believe that's on the West Coast. Let me just Google that to be sure before I speak on it. Yeah, it's on the West Coast. But let me just zoom out of the map to see. Excuse me. All right, so I'm going to break that down for you. Let me just zoom out so I get total perspective. So Bonetta Springs is... Well, I've probably been by there because it's right. It's just south of Fort Myers. I've actually been there because I see where it's talking. I've actually been there. I didn't know that was Bonetta Springs. All right, so this is what I think. One is it's on the west coast of Florida. That's the Gulf of Mexico, not the Atlantic Ocean. The Gulf of Mexico doesn't have waves, really. It's a lower energy. It's less diverse, less Caribbean. between Fort Myers and Naples is a decent area because you're south of Tampa. I believe you want to be south of Tampa, get more tropical as best you can on the West Coast, more lush palm trees. It's a small little area. It's decent. Again, I'm not fully remembering it, but I remember going to Sanibel Island and then riding the Fort Myers beach strip and then going down that way. And then I spent a lot of time in Naples and Marcos Island. If I was going to be in that area, I'd be in Naples mainly and Marcos Island. But again, lower energy, not Caribbean, and the Gulf of Mexico is not the ocean. It's like a toilet bowl a little bit, in my opinion, even though it's some nice white sandy beaches, and it's just not exciting. So that's my opinion. Now, Charles lives in Tampa. He loves it. I have some great viewers from the west coast of Florida, and I have a great friend that loves Fort Myers. But for me, the energy is so low, and even though there's some nice places, it's not that vibe that I need. But again, a lot of that's my opinion. There's some things that are definitely true there, but a lot of that's just my opinion. Good comment. Stacy, why is that she goes, why is that my husband could move away from our kids and grandkids, but I don't think I could ever. He would love a warm state, he said. Nature. Why does a scorpion sting and why does a turtle retreat? Because on average, there's exceptions. On average, a mother is a nurturer and someone who wants to be in relatively close proximity to her children. On average, a father is an explorer or someone who, once a child's at a certain age, they're willing to separate. So there's some of that is just nature of gender, but there's exceptions. But I can tell you from women I've known that finally made the decision to move away from their children, they did the right thing. This is what they tell me, and this is the truth. How often are your kids actually visiting you? And then when they visit you, how healthy is it? Move away from your children. Period. Good job. We have a robot in here. Justin, thank you. I needed to hear that. Well, Justin, I want to tell you, brother, I hope you get everything you desire. Because like I say, I'm fully impressed with you, man. What you share with me in person, I always think about you, man. I always pray for you, and I got nothing but love for you, man. Mr. Lance. Hey, Sonia, been to Fort Myers and Gulf Coast many times. Bonita Springs is a nice area, he says. Sonny, a.k.a. Luke. Amen. That's so true what you said. Appreciate your great words, my man. Thank you. Sonia, at Mr. Leon Knights, I believe. Thank you so much. Currently in New Jersey, Florida for the win. I agree with that. Mr. Leon Knights, me too, moving down very soon. Well, good luck to, and he's going to the Venice area. We had another viewer in here who used to like Venice. Well, again, love and respect to you both. Again, opinions and personal preference is what makes the world go round. If everyone liked what I liked, then everyone would be in one area, right? So I don't want to define for other people what they're going to like. But I do want to tell you this. I'll tell you what I like based on my opinion, but I want to also tell you this, is that visit the area before you buy. Visit the area. Spend time there. Visit other areas. Go to the East Coast, go to North, go West, go South. One advantage I had as a traveling nomad living in a car, not flying an airplane, is that I traveled from the mountains of Vermont to Boston, to New York, to Pittsburgh, to Washington, D.C., Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, South Florida, East Coast of Florida, West Coast of Florida, North, South, back and forth, all throughout the coast for a few years. And I truly understand and have a feel for me with the different cultures, environments. Even in Florida, guys, there's certain parts of Florida on the East Coast. If I go an hour north, the skies are a little bit different. The sand has a different texture. I get a headache. The altitude is a little bit different. I go hours south. The sand is different. The ocean is different. The people are different. The land is flatter. There's a different feel, right? And so I'm so in tune. You got to be so in tune with that. And there's nothing perfect, but there's your best environment. Figure that out. And remember that your house doesn't make your life. Your daily routine makes your life. So when deciding where you want to live, and I wanted to come to Florida because I wanted to be able to walk outside 90% of the year. And other than a hurricane, I do it 100%. So if that's the case, if I want to come to Florida so I can take walks outside, I don't want to move in an area that doesn't have walking paths. I don't want to move in an area, okay, that you have to take a look at. And I think about that. That's what you got to think about. Good job. Back to live comments. Sunny. Hey, Sam. Good. Gotta run. Enjoy your night. You too. Thank you for coming in. Enjoy having you. Thank you. Aaron. Haven't spoke to my mother since deciding to sell. Well, that's good. Why? Because I didn't tell either of my parents I was going to sell. Why? I had enough pressure on my life. I didn't need them. I dated a girl that got cancer. She didn't tell her mom. Why? She had enough pressure on her life. She didn't need her mom worrying about her. So when you're under high pressure as an adult, don't tell anyone other than the people that you want or need to. Why? You got to take care of yourself. And if someone can't understand that, too bad. You're an adult now. Okay? And so if you got to deal with the bad news, you get to determine how you deliver your news. Good job. Erin. She goes, haven't spoke to her mom since deciding to sell. She thinks I'm gone crazy for doing this. Huh? It's not her life, but I understand what you're saying. And I don't want to hear it. I broke that down. I agree. I have the right to figure out who I am for me. 1,000%, Aaron. 1,000%. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. Excellent, excellent job. Oh, $5 super chat. Nicholas. Forgive me for saying the last name wrong. Messiah. Nicholas, thank you, brother. Appreciate the message. Nicholas, I have gratitude for the tip. I thank you, Nicholas. I hope these videos do help people in some way. I try to be very clear when I'm giving opinion. And, obviously, I guess it's all opinion, right? Because there's not, but you get something from it and hopefully something positive. So thank you, Nicholas, very much. Appreciate you. Thank you for taking that effort. Thank you to everyone watching. Thank you to all my members. Thank you, everyone, for the tips. Thank you. Back to live comments. I believe, Aaron, that was a good comment. Captain Kirk, what's up, man? Did you decide you want a Class B or a house? It's still a tough decision. I'm closer to a home base than a Class B. But I'm not going to lie to you. When I get close to a home base, like I get close to being under contract, Class B is less maintenance, but it's more monthly recurring fees. In the long run, the home base pans out. But what I've learned as you get older is kick the can down the road. And in the long run, you actually don't make money on a house till you sell it. But I don't want to be on the road all the time. I don't know. I like campgrounds. And campgrounds are really a game changer. But bottom line is I haven't decided. And when in doubt, I'm going to do nothing. Because a Class B, if I'm going to spend $80,000 to $100,000, I could buy a home base for that or damn near that. And if I'm not going to travel all the time, it's tough. But the one thing about a home, I don't want to worry about there's a lizard in the walls. With the Class B, I don't really worry about the roof. I don't really worry about this, that. So that's where I go back and forth, right? And that's why I haven't done anything in 5 years. Why? When in doubt, don't buy anything. Just stack money. But that's kind of my thoughts. Good question. Sonia, at Mr. Leon, enjoy Venice. Get that sunshine, vitamin D. Yep, I agree with that. Stacy, I agree with you, Aaron. Keep doing what you're doing. I envy your independence. Captain Kirk, do you think Hollywood, Florida is a good place to live? No. Why? Too congested. I've been there. I did a video from there. I think overall it's a very nice area. A lot to see, a lot to do, but it's too congested, too much tourism, and I personally would not live south of Boca Raton. Why? It's just too congested. But again, that's my opinion now, but some of that is fact. If you look at the landmass in Hollywood, it's a very small, high-density area, so that's fact. Beautiful beaches, a lot to do, so there's value, but you got to really like that like high energy, a lot of people, beautiful area, but very, very condensed. Last Star Fighter. My knee has been hurt for the last month and I hurt my ankle last week. I'm sorry to hear that. I think, yeah, well, I understand the struggle with weight. Like I say, I've had family members who struggled with obesity. I've struggled with obesity, but I also struggle with anorexia. So I totally understand the struggle for what you're speaking of. All I can tell you is last star is grace and try to make a little bit healthier decisions. Give me an example, inspirational nomad. Okay. Instead of eating out every day, only eat out on the weekends. And then instead of having a big bag of potato chips with your meal, get a smaller size or don't eat potato chips with your meal. And then, eliminate the fried foods. And then get rid of the ranch salad dressing and only put balsamic light salad dressing. And then be intentional about reading the food labels and understanding somewhat about nutrition. And then just go for a walk. You don't have to go to the gym. Go for a walk. Every time you get hungry, go for a walk. Now, you're still going to eat, but if you build a habit of when you're hungry, go for a walk, you'll be better. You say, well, my knee and my ankle hurts. Well, actually, a body in motion stays in motion. My mom was overweight and very elderly, and she actually feels better when her body moves rather than when she lays down all day. So put your body in motion. Be more conscious about what you're eating. Read the food labels a little bit. Look at the portions a little bit. And best of luck to you. Hal, 2 live chats in one day. Yep. Well, I needed to do the 1 live chat this morning from the potential home base because there's no substitute for doing a live stream rather than doing it. And I wasn't going to be at that home base at night. So I wanted to, even though I'd been there already at night, but I wasn't going to broadcast tonight. I wanted to know that if I went live, the reception would be good. I wanted to test some things with the internet so I knew I could work from there. And that was the reason for the live stream this morning. And then this is my regular one. Love to you, brother. Hal, no one is on that level. Sam, keep killing it. Well, brother, I appreciate you. At this point in the YouTube game, what really crushes it is RV reviews. Okay, that's what gets me the bulk of the subscribers and ad revenue. But my portfolio and over 3,000 videos, there's other things I've offered and done well. And again, I have creative liberty because I don't need to obsess over YouTube. I have a main job. And what I found in life is when you take some of that pressure off you, then you can really paint how you want to. But I still treat YouTube with the respect of a job, with the respect of effort to you guys, because I don't just come on here and feel entitled that it's got to work. I have to structure and dedicate time and energy to it. So I appreciate you. Sonia, I do like diversity. Thank you, Sam. Well, thank you. And again, I'm not saying there's not diversity on the West Coast and in that area, but, on the East Coast of Florida and Southeast, one is Miami is a major port, okay, to the country. It's like the port to Latin America, to the Caribbean. But it's not just that. You also have a lot of people from Russia. You have people from international Europe, and you have people from all over the country in the Southeast zone. Now, in the Southwest, you do have people from all over the country. You have less international people, and you have less of a Caribbean vibe. So you pretty much have people from Michigan, Ohio, etc., and the demographic is a little bit centered, a different way. It's just a little different structure. Love to you. Thank you, Sonia. Peanut butter. Hey, peanut butter. Thank you for being a member. I love the name. Hey, Sam, quick question. Sure. How do you keep up with your federal documents, taxes, state ID addresses, etc.? Do you use family or do you have a personal P.O. box? Yes, well, nomads have a couple options. I don't use family. You can use services that have mail forwarding services and also give you a domicile address. You can look into Escapees. They're centered in Texas. You can look at, they have other ones that are in South Dakota. You can get a domicile address or a mailing service through certain programs. One, as an example, the escapees. If you're a full-time RV or something like that. Also, in Florida, you could technically register as a homeless person and get a license. But there's a whole nother thing. So everyone needs to look at their individual circumstance different. So I can't say one thing. But what I can say is there's mailing services that will give you an official address. Obviously, there's different fees depending on the membership. And there's different ways to approach it. You could use family, you could use a friend. So ultimately, obviously, right, you got to have a level of proof. I mean, I have receipts showing, what percentage of the time I'm in Florida. But there's a lot of people that just have a house here or just register here and don't. So the main thing with federal taxes and with state and everything else is that you pay what the percentage is that you need to pay of federal. Okay. And the state domicile, like I say, you can use certain services like the examples I gave you, and you'd be fine for the most part. Sue, I'd love to retire in San Diego. Best year-round weather, but don't have the heart to leave my grown boys in Rhode Island. Yeah, look, a lot of people like San Diego, and I would say, look, that'd be another great option. The reason I don't prefer San Diego, it's not Caribbean, it's mild, it's not like hot. I like it hot, humid, wet. San Diego is beachy, but it's like Mediterranean. It's mild. But a lot of people prefer that, mild. They don't prefer hot, humid, Caribbean, living a vida loca. They prefer more like, laid back San Diego vibe. So, but yeah, the hardest thing and why most people end up leaving Florida is because they go back to family. I'm going to do a video tomorrow. Most people who buy property in Florida end up selling it to move back to where they came from. Many. I don't say most, but many end up back to misery. When they go back to where they come from, they don't end up happier. They just go back to the familiar, and then they can't move back again because they realize the real challenge of life is self-care, and then where you live will enhance your habits. And if you got bad habits, if you don't have your own life, if you're not working on yourself, you're just going to sit in the house and miss your family. Because really, weather is only, like I tell you guys, I would go for a walk in blizzard conditions. If you're not going for a walk when it rains in Rhode Island, you're not going to go for a walk when it's 75 degrees. You're going to, in my opinion, that's what I've seen. You're just going to sit in a temperature-controlled room. Watching a movie makes you think about your family, and you're going to call your family, and they're going to be busy living your life. And then you're going to move back to Rhode Island, and they're still going to be busy visiting, doing their own life. They're not going to be visiting you. Your children will never be young again. And there was a time when you wanted your children to be older, and mothers want it both ways too. Mothers want their children always to be by them, but if the mother gets smothered, then she wants to say, "Look, I raised you. I want my own life back." I want to tell all my sons and daughters, mothers, as loving as they are, they're manipulators sometimes because they want to be the mother, but they also want their own space. Look, sons, respect your mother, but all she is a girl that you dated. Okay? And, your father saying, guys, respect, but you got to live your own life, and your parents got to live your own life. That's the way it is. I love you. And no disrespect, but I'm just sharing. Alina, I'm in Venice and absolutely love no other place I would rather be. Well, that's awesome. I'm very happy for you, Alina. I appreciate you. Baharda, I don't know what that means. So I'm just going to delete it. Yeah, because I don't know what that means. Aaron, thanks, Stacy. One reason it's easier for me to leave kids is they already left. Van means I can visit both without cramping anyone's style. I believe in you, Aaron. This is just a general statement. What I found, even when you live on wheels, most people are not that mobile. Now, in the beginning of my journey, I was. Even now, I am. I bounce around, but you start to find areas you're like, I don't know, man. But you've already done it, Aaron, so I don't want to speak for you. You'll figure it out. One step at a time. You're doing good. Matthew, what is your opinion on Stewart? Nice area. I think it's too crowded. Yeah, everyone has a different opinion on that. Some people like the middle of nowhere. Some people like, area that has a lot of amenities. Just remember, the more amenities, the closer to the beach, the more crowded. The less amenities, less away from the beach, less crowded. Now, also, you know, uh, if you go to the energy in Flagler Beach, which is Northeast Florida, which I think is a nice area, the energy at that beach, while it's more laid back, less crowded, I love that area, but it's not the same as a South Florida town, even though a South Florida town may be more crowded. So, but that's a personal opinion. Now, some people may feel different. Aaron, I have one kid 4 hours away, and the other is 14. So I'm used to that part. This would be much harder if I wasn't used to it. Well, there you go. Good job. Nicholas, thank you again. I appreciate you. Oh, Aaron, forgive me. My lazy ass did not scroll down on my laptop, and I can't see that on my phone. Aaron, you've been very gracious to me, Aaron. You know that I'm a big supporter of you. I respect your empathy. I appreciate your beauty outside and inside. Aaron, you're going to figure it out. You've put in the work. You've done what you needed to do for your life. Very proud of you. Very much appreciate you. I always want you to feel special. And now is that time window of your life where you have the health, the age, and the resources to live your life responsibly. So do it, but take your time and ease into it. And now you're living life at your pace and you put in the work. So I want you to live a life that only you can love. And that's your business. And Aaron, thank you for everything you share, especially about your mom. I definitely relate to that comment. Thank you. Stacy, thanks, Aaron. Joanna, true that, 100. Captain Kirk, I heard Boca Raton is really nice. Very nice area, but it is congested to live. What's your opinion? Boca Raton is very nice. Cosmetically, it's very congested, though. Has great diversity. It can be a little bit snooty because it's one of the wealthier areas. But that's not a negative or a positive, but that's what it is. Cosmetically, it's everything you want to see in South Florida. The lush palm trees, the diversity. It's got a Latin vibe. It's got an international vibe. It's got an American vibe. But again, you're congested a little bit, and it's expensive to live. So, I just think that I just think it's too congested, and even if you had the money, I think there's a better areas. I think Boca Raton is awesome, but I think it's a little bit overrated. I think it's a little bit a showpiece. Not a bad thing, but it's a little bit more of a showpiece than actual quality of life. Last Fighter, thanks for the advice and positivity. Well, Last Fighter, I totally appreciate your comment about your struggles. Yeah, I love to you, man, and I understand. Nigel, why do you live in a car? Because it was the best option into keeping flexibility in my life when I lived in New Jersey. I wanted to move to Florida, but I wanted to keep my job, wait for a job transfer, and I didn't want to buy a property in Florida until I lived here. And also, as a single person with no pets, no kids, what I learned is I like not having the responsibility of owning a house. I owned a house for 15 years, and I didn't sell it under foreclosure. I sold it on my time at my pace. So I understand the question, because before I thought about living in a car, I would not think of living in a car. YouTube opened that up. Look, the hippies did it in the 70s, and the RV culture has always been around. But now with technology and being able to work remote, and for a lot of the population that's single with no pets, no kids, it can work. Whether you pay to stay at a campground, which I'm paying now, I'm paying probably close to some people's rent, almost $1,000 a month. But for many years, I stealth park. So why? Because it's the best lifestyle for the season of life I was in and still am in. And when I get close to buying a house now, I do get a little bit of an anxiety because there's a little bit more drama involved. And living in your car, while you sacrifice some conveniences, there's a lot of peace of not being responsible for too much. Now, the drama with living in your car comes with where you're going to park. And that's something that's a challenge, or extreme weather. So, that's everything has a pro and a con. Sean Paul, my Florida address is a UPS store. My car is registered there, my insurance, etc. Federal taxes too. Thank you, Jean Paul. Nigel, aren't you scared someone can attack you when you sleep in your car? When I lived in a gated community in New Jersey with a guard at a gatehouse, someone broke into my car. I've known people have broke into their house, and some people have gotten hurt. LL Cool J had $1 million house. He had an invader break in his house. He had to break his ribs. So I know life. I've lived life. So most areas I'm at, they have security cameras. Campgrounds have rangers and gated communities. And if you're stealth parking, everything's a camera. So look, I don't go looking for trouble. And what I found in life is it's a possibility. I'm not saying I'm immune to it, but it's pretty much statistically the same thing as living in a house. Actually, in many ways, it's a little bit more risky living in a house. Why? Because you're in one location. Anyone who wants to get you, they know your schedule. It's like saying, aren't you afraid I'll look up your IP address, pull up your search history, then find your social security number, then look up your medical and mental health records, and then find out you're a stalker online? I can do it. Aren't you afraid of that? You still type the comment. So I say all that to say that in today's world where a lot of things are searchable, like Nigel, I could see, that you created your account on November 30th, 2014. So a lot of things are searchable. But when you're not looking for trouble, usually you're not going to run into trouble. But everything in life has a risk. The biggest thing you risk living in your car is driving more. Because driving is very dangerous. And that's true. Nicholas, thumbs up. Thank you. Bahadra, good work, Sam. Sorry I wrote that in Hindu. No problem. I appreciate, what I should have did, and I thought about it after I deleted it, is I should have copied and pasted it and then put it in Google Translate. I apologize. So anytime you want to write in Hindu, you can do that, Hindu, and I'll copy and paste it, try to understand it. Thank you. Today's special. Good evening, Sam. Hope you and the viewers had a blessed day. Thank you. Can't wait till I get my CDL. That's a great certification. So I can travel to Florida. Well, thank you, Today's Special, for being a member, and that's a great certification. Remember, if you have a driver's license, that's a certification that you can make money, whether it's DoorDash, Uber, Instacart, or Lyft. Also, you can become a truck driver or get a CDL license, and those are things, guys, you can make a lot of money, FedEx worker, etc. So good job. That's a great certification. Captain Kirk, can you recommend 3 good areas to live in Florida? Well, they're all different. Like, we had someone here that wanted to live, that liked Venice, Florida. So for me, I would say you got to come visit, because there's some people that like the West Coast of Florida and I don't. So for me to give that advice is to look at your profile and say you have a picture of Captain Kirk screaming and you have one video that says the last day of sunshine. Can you give me 3 recommendations on, it's your personal preference is what I'm getting at, on what type of avatar you want. Like you decided, I'm going to Google search the images of Captain Kirk screaming, and that is what I like. So your mindset on what you may like versus what I may like may be different, right? Because I Googled inspirational quotes and images of your best life and be you and things like that. So what my mind recommends may be different from what your mind recommends. So that's why when we get to that part of it, I'd rather you just, experience it for yourself, because, it's just different opinions. I appreciate it though. All right, guys and girls, I think we got to all the live comments. Let me just scroll on my phone. Yep, I did. So I want to thank everyone for watching tonight. I hope my videos help you in some way. And Thank you again to all my members. Thank you for all the gracious tips. Have a great day. Keep showing up. Don't let people bully you out of your best life. But remember, pursue peace, not drama. Because if you're looking for drama, guys, you could get yourself in trouble. Now, if you pursue peace, there's still trouble in this world because this world, but you're going to have your best life. There's no perfect life. And that's all we're looking for. So love.